Hello, mic test. Hello. Hello. Hello, guys, and welcome to our 112th Trading Opportunities webinar. I believe you can hear me, right? Let's get started with the very quick introduction before we begin the actual webinar itself. So, guys, my name is Nirav. I'm the admin and owner of 50 Years Market Analysis website as well as YouTube channel. Before we begin the webinar, for those of you who are new here, let me just give you a very quick introduction of what we are doing. This is the 112th iteration of what we call trading opportunities. We do it weekly and we do it at the set time of 1 second. Let me start up the drawing software. Hello, Martin. Yes, a little bit late. I was just checking what we said in the last webinar. These things do tend to take some time. 1 second. Yes. So as I was saying, we do these webinars every Friday, 2 p.m. GMT or 7:30 p.m. IST. So whichever time zone you are in, just convert it accordingly. So far, we have conducted 111 of these webinars, and we have captured 263 trades in total, including the 3 setups which were discussed in the last webinar, which is 111th. Right? We will go over all that once we proceed with the webinars. And a few more things. I'm also the author of the book, Think with the Markets. You can get your copy on Amazon via the Kindle electronic delivery system. Right? We also have our own, group, private group. You can, if you are interested later on, request details for the private group by visiting this link. And subscribe to the mailing list for upcoming announcements. We are planning to launch Instagram page, of course. So for the official link, I'll just mail it to the mailing list first, of course, obviously. Right. And lastly, before we proceed, here's the track record of all the past videos, webinars, which we have conducted since 2016 till 2021 here. And after 2021, we have started doing these trading opportunities webinars, for which you can find the details here. Right. So as you can see over here, this record has always been higher than 80%. As you can see, 2016, 2017, 87.5, 2018, 2019, 2020, 88.52, 2021, 82.22. So this is above industry standards and all public. So you can just check it at your own time. In case you are not familiar with the concepts I use here, I'm a expert on Elliott Wave analysis. I have done 8+ years of research, right? A very small part of it I share here in this public course, which has 1600 plus students. And it is highly recommended that if you are not familiar with Elliott Wave, then you start your journey from here, right? With that all being said, let's now head over to our sequence of things. The way we will proceed is we will first of all go over the charts of Euro USD, followed by crude oil, gold, S&P. The list is here, right? Every time I discuss a chart, and if you have a question related to the discussion, keep in mind, guys, it is very important, related to the discussion. I do not come here to listen to other opinions of other analysts or anything like that. I don't follow anybody, and I like to keep it like that. So, anyways, if you have questions regarding understanding what I discussed, you can always put that in the comment section, right? Otherwise, we'll go over these charts. We'll also check what we said in the last webinar, and that's how we proceed. With that being said, let's now head over to our first chart, which is the chart of Euro USD right here on screen. And let's see what was being said about Euro in our last webinar, which was conducted on 19th of April 2024. So here is the last webinar, 111th. We are at Euro, and what I do remember is we were unclear more or less as to where this market is heading. We wanted to enter shorts mostly, what I remember, below this 1.06 level, and then scalp longs above 1.068. If I play this, perhaps perhaps I've written it, perhaps I've not written it, but that was the count, right? So we did get some little bit of clarity here, still unclear. Yeah, this was the short setup below 1.06 and long setup was 1.068. Right, so no clear direction was the thing here. Let's see what happened. Is there something more clear here now? So here is the price when we did the last discussion, somewhere here, right? As you see, market has gone up in a corrective structure. I'm assuming that it's either a Z having one leg up remaining or Z already complete like this and two complete. So what I'm really suggesting is that this whole structure from this point of reference, price level around 1.06003, or let's just say 1.06 on 16th of April, somewhere around 16th of April, we have what we can see over here as a WXY correction, and furthermore an XZ. So this is what we call in Elliott Wave terminologies a triple zigzag kind of correction, right? And a triple zigzag means that once the wave Z is complete, we will see the market taking out the starting point of this structure. That is the point of reference will be taken out once this correction is complete. Two things exist here: either this Z is already complete here or not, then it may have one leg up remaining, right? So we don't really care too much about that. We can just put an alert here. If it really has one leg remaining, we will know it when we know it. If not, then I'll look for selling below this low of 1.06783. As a matter of fact, I can look for minor short selling right now as well, and then later on add more. That will be more strategic, and perhaps I'll do that. But right now, I'm out of this market. I don't have any position. The basic scenario here now appears that once this 1.0678 level is taken, I'll take this as our stop loss and look to enter shorts. That's my take right now. If something else happens, obviously my analysis will differ, right? And count wise, I'm just concluding here, the counts will be up and then down or straight down. So that's our take on Euro USD. So again, if you guys have any doubts or questions on what we have discussed so far, you can just type them in the live chat. And by the way, I have not looked at the chat properly. Let me just take a look. Hello, Martin. Thank you. You are always there on time. And I'm the one always showing up late. Hello, Sandeepan. I see you've been attending the webinars regularly now. And hello, Philippe Calfon. Hi, Jay. And good morning to you, Luis. All right, guys. So let's now head over to our stuff for crude oil, which, as was expected, is just going more and more volatile alongside S&P. But anyways, let's just look at it and then we will know what's really happening here. Yes, that was the count. So yes, so right now we are here on the last webinar's recording of our crude oil analysis, and what we were discussing as our main theme was that this market yes, Philippe, I was going to say that, and you stole the words, right? I haven't seen you in a long time. That's true. So yeah, anyways, getting back to our discussion, I hope you're doing good, by the way, and still in the markets. So what we discussed as our main theme in our analysis of crude oil last time was that I was expecting a diagonal structure, and the diagonal will go something like that. You get the idea, and we were expecting a downward movement for whatever this line is, this white dotted line, right? Now, interestingly, what happened was I was able to take shorts and book profits, but the count actually did not play out literally as we expected. Let's see what really happened on the live chart. So you see, our discussion was, one second, let me get rid of this. Our discussion was on 19th April. The market was somewhere here. So somewhere around here, roughly speaking, we were doing the analysis on 19th, right? And based on our analysis, I was able to push some shorts on this market where, let's see, 23rd April somewhere. So what I'll do is I'll just show you the actual post in our Slack. What happened? Yeah, there it is. So these were the posts made in Slack. Yeah, we were here 23rd April, added short, stop loss 84.52. Let's see if we can see anything on this chart. I can't zoom it. So let's see next post here, booked partial profits on shorts. And next one here, closed more shorts and profits. So at this point, I had taken out most of the position. The idea was that this market will take out this low. I had, I think, a very small, like less than 10% position remaining at this point. However, keep in mind, I was cautious, as I told you guys, because of the volatility, because of the political scenario going on around the world. So if things were general situation, then I probably would not have been so aggressive while taking out the profits. So anyways, the remaining position did hit our trailing stop loss and was taken out in loss because the market reversed, did not hit the low. And for that, we'll now see the counts and everything on chart. So here is the chart, and as you can see here, this is the leg I was trading. And this was the minimum expectation. It went way too close and just did not do it. Look at that. I was exiting here, probably something here, as you saw on the post, but it just did not hit the target. Anyways, now what we have here is still a wave 4 correction. Maybe. Why? Because if this is a 1, this from this point of reference, what is this? 71.424. Then it can still be counted as 4 continuing. A little bit odd now because it has consumed way too much space. So 1, 2, 3, 4, still possible count, right? And then the fifth leg up. So for that, I have left this alert around 82.117 something. And if it goes lower than that, perhaps I'll look for a short trade. That's our analysis. That was the analysis from last webinar as well, by the way. And the second idea is that it is just continuing in a series of ones and twos, and you get the idea. One second. 1 and 2, and then 1 and 2, and so on and so forth, in which case it can just go up, right? So that's our second hypothesis, that is it can just straight off shoot up from here, right? So for that, I have an alert around a 6.117. It's more or less a wait and watch kind of market. I don't want to take any position on it just yet, right? I am more interested in taking these shorts. Keep in mind, these will be scalp shorts if this analysis is correct and this diagonal plays out. This down leg will be short lived and will not give you too many pips, points, whatever you call it, or a move. So you need to be very smart and fast and on the screen for this. So kind of not the kind of market you would trade if you are not an expert. Basically, it's as I said in the last webinar, this is not a beginner or intermediate market anymore. Same goes for the indices as well, on which we actually did pinpoint the reversal both on Nifty as well as S&P. So anyways, nothing much to add here on crude oil. I've discussed both the scenarios. One is we expect some downward movement followed by upward movement, calling this as H1, and then the second one as H2 is suggesting basically straight up move. Right. So that's all for our analysis here. If you have any doubts or questions, you can just type it in the comments. Before we move over to our next chart, which will be the chart of gold followed by S&P. Okay, I don't see any new comments here. So in that case, let's just move forward here. By the way, guys, before we move forward, as I did say in the introduction, we will soon be launching you know what, let me just check the gold thing and we'll just make the announcement somewhere in the middle. Where's gold? Gold 18.1809. So yeah, that was one of the two analysis which we did on gold. This is the recording from our last session, or the 111th trading opportunities webinar. The idea was that we expected that this market is continuing either sideways as a 4 triangle flat. Our main theme was, I was thinking that main theme was A, B, and C, and then up. That was the main theme, and this was the secondary analysis, which was suggesting that more downside can be seen on this counter. It can go to 2261. Right, that was the second theme. Now what happened is this secondary analysis did play out, and I did have some minor longs here that obviously did not survive. It was stop loss hit. So overall, this count is moving as per our analysis H2, and let's see on the live chart now how. So it has still not touched our second downside target, which is the level of 2262, but right, it can still do it as a triple zigzag, and perhaps it may not do it. Right, we don't have any clarification on that. What I'll do is move this alert a little bit. So again, as I said, the analysis remains the same when we discussed it last time, 19th of April, somewhere over here. The analysis was that it can remain sideways and then go up, or perform like a flat and then go up. None of that played out. What has played out is the simple leg down for the C, or WXY, I think. So it is likely it can still get propagate sideways, give another leg down for the Z. So the downside target of 2260 still remains active. We are not holding any positions right now. So what I like to do is wait for this market to give me some clear sign of strength or weakness. Perhaps move below 2307, roughly speaking, will be of some value to decide if we want to go short or not. And similarly, on the upside, around 2395, we will look for longs. These are not concrete trading levels, just some ideas. And if this market really is giving a correction, then the correction can take much more time. So don't want to be very aggressive on this market. Wait and watch with the idea of either a corrective continuation for 2260 as downside target, and the second idea of correction being complete over here and straight up move. Let's see if we push it like this. This is our H2, let's say straight up here, and H1 is suggesting down and then up. So basically a wait and watch, just like the other markets we discussed. This week is not a very high activity in terms of swing trading, more of an intraday week it was with high volatility. Nothing much to add here, by the way, guys. And what I wanted to discuss or ask you guys was, are you guys even using Instagram? If you are, let me know in the comments or live chat. If comments, if you are watching this as a recording later on. But if you are in the live chat, Philippe, Louis, Jay, Sandeepan, Martin, do you have an account there? Do people use it? I don't have one, but I was thinking of creating one for the business entity, that is 50 eyes. Would that be a good idea? I think it will definitely increase some reach. I have always avoided putting more time in these things, but a lot of people have told me that as a business, it is required to have these days. All right, so Martin, our official mascot, has an Instagram account, and hopefully he will be helping us reach more audience there as well. Didn't hear from you guys. I'm assuming you don't have one. But anyways, that was the quick announcement I wanted to make. And yes, yeah, lastly, since I am making announcements, the same goes like every time. Hit the like button and share the darn thing once it's complete. The webinar, I mean, of course, right? And here's another comment from Martin. It would be a lot of potential is there. Okay. Yes, so I've heard from way too many sources. So at this point, I'm like, let's just make one how hard it is. Just click few buttons and you have an account. Anyways, so that was our quick announcement and nothing to add here on the gold analysis. And if you guys are alive and still attending the webinar, it will be nicer to have more comments other than just Martin speaking up, right? That's why I do it live. I like to ask things and hear from you as well. So that's it. Let's head over to our next chart of S&P's 500, which actually, let's just show what happened here for the sake of more clarity. So here is the recording from our last webinar on S&P's 500. And what was being discussed was that this market is, that was our main count, by the way, that this market has completed the whole corrective thing. That is, this whole leg down was complete, right? The whole count and everything we discussed in the last webinar, we'll also discuss it here. But the main thing was that if the WXYXZ is complete, then we expect at least A, B, C up. So even if the whole count is not correct, as A up, B down, and C up, a 3-leg move in the upside direction was expected heavily. Like that was the main theme. Now, if that comes out to be true, which it did, as we'll see on the live chart, we have successfully pinpointed the reversal. And this is nothing new. I have done it so many times, but I'm just saying it with a little bit of emphasis because I don't know how many people attend these webinars regularly. Like we have done 111 already, and this is the 112th. So yeah, gotta beat your own drums or whatever you guys call it. Right. So here is the actual chart, and let's head over to S&P. And here is the discussion from last webinar, and the market at the time of discussion was somewhere here, right? And as you can see, the market has given successfully 3 legs in the upward direction. Hence, we have successfully pinpointed the reversal, right? Now, how often do you should see that? I mean, obviously in my webinars you do, but in general, how often? Right, so with that being said, let's now see what this market is doing. If this reversal is really complete, keep in mind it is just what you call short-term reversal, which we wanted to play out. Will it reverse for long term? Will it not reverse in the long term? Like, will it go ahead and break out the high? That is not still answered. Why? Because these counts, they do have the potential to change. We have to always remember that the markets are dynamic, right? As soon as the market gives us new information, we need to account for that with our counts and everything. So the counts can change. So what do we know at this point? We do know here that this market is possibly, at this point we knew it will give at least ABC up. It has already done that. From there on, what we have is possibility of a diagonal progression, right? And if there's a diagonal progression, then we can see some correction before the up leg or upward movement in this market. Second possibility is that nothing like that will happen, and this is the biggest correction that we were going to see, right? However, I am not able to, or I do not see any clear count for this market for anything other than the diagonal prospects, right? If it is doing something very, very, very bullish, then yes, it is possible that it has nested impulses. and it can just fly high from here. However, I personally believe that's a secondary possibility that it will just fly high. Our first possibility remains that minor up followed by a correction and then up, right? So we can see minor up, but we have to be aware of the possibility of this correction, right? So as I said, it's more of a unclear situation at this point, and the easy part, or the what you would call the simpler thing, was here when we discussed it. It's already over, so I'm not holding any positions long or short on this counter. We'll just wait out, right, and see how it performs. My bias will be to look for longs, by the way, and let's see if we get any clear setups during the sessions. And that's about it for S&P. I don't have anything to add here. We'll just move over to our last two charts, Nifty followed by Bitcoin. So Nifty, it actually did move ahead as per us. What I'll do is I'll just share the recording from our last analysis, 37. Let's see where it is. Okay, so this was 1 second. Let's just let it play from here. So here's the recording from our last webinar. This was the main theme which we discussed on the chart of Nifty 50. And the idea was that we expect that this market can go up from here literally, as at least as an A up, B down, and C up progression. And the whole thing was based on the fact that we have this A, B, and C, which was analyzed in, of course, live market. And this was the secondary hypothesis and all that, which you can see over here. So I'll just pause this recording here, and we'll now move over to the actual chart. This is the actual chart of Nifty, and this is the same channel and same A, B, and C down. And here is the time when we discussed the webinar, 19th of April here. So market did go up. We were expecting that some resistance may be encountered near the channel line and specifically within this price zone. But instead, this level has acted as a support, which is basically suggesting possibilities of strength at this point. We don't have confirmation yet. So based on what we have so far, we were able to again pinpoint the reversal here. Of course, as discussed in live webinar, basis of this corrective structure. And we have already seen the three legs up, which is the minimum expectation that we get from here or from these markets, right? Now that we have seen that, it obviously becomes sort of the similar case as our last discussion that the last discussion on S&P, that either we are going to see very strong upward movement, but as I said, we don't have any confirmation. And the second possibility now becomes maybe we are seeing some sort of diagonal formation, who knows, right? So again, this remains a little bit unclear to me, and from what I can see, this is a very, very stock specific market. And I did mention that very clearly. I don't know if you guys recall it or not. If someone in the someone of you who is present live in the webinar do remember it, then you would remember that we were suggesting, not necessarily suggesting, we were looking at the chart of Airtel when it was over here. Let me just show you very quickly. Here it is. This was the chart of Airtel when we were discussing it. Sorry, here. The price was 1296 and we were expecting upward movement. And this is the chart of Airtel after that at 1338. This was all posted live in our Slack. These are all charts posted in the group stocks_IN. Right. So this was like I gave a glimpse of it. I did not discuss it in detail, but that was also one of the charts we pointed out. And similarly, there are others, specifically SBI, where we were able to actually pinpoint the whole thing. Let me see if I can show that. Here it is, I think. SBI expected progression on 24th April. Here's the post. and the price was 775, and after that, or whatever it is, we'll just look at it on the enlarged chart. Yes, so here we discussed it. So yes, it is 775 something, and then it went up 5% to 812 roughly. So this was all posted along with other charts which are also going on. So when I say stock specific, that means that the index is unclear, but there are certain stocks which have a clear activity. You get the point here, right? So that was that for our take on Nifty. So as far as index is currently concerned, as I did mention, I still believe it is unclear and wait and watch scenario, just like S&P. So we will again still remain more on our stock specific theme. With that being said, there is nothing much to add on Nifty here. Stay cautious, and if you are trading it, the position size will have to be reduced substantially because of the unclear situation here. And with that being said, let's not push any more time in it and head over to our last chart of Bitcoin, which actually did go down as per our analysis in the last webinar. Let's see what was being said. Let's head over to the recording here. So here is a chart of Bitcoin. Let's see what was being said here on this chart. Yes, so we discussed two themes on Bitcoin in our last webinar, one of which was a possibility of a super bearish count, and the other one was that this is just a correction like ABC, which is ended here or is possibly going to end here and then up. Now, I was very clear in suggesting that I'm not interested in any longs whatsoever as long as the market sustains below 72634. That was a very, very clear point we made. By the way, I'm seeing that one of the few pages are getting refreshed. Can any of you confirm if we are still live? What I'll do is I'll check on my end as well. If we are live, just and the audio is still there, just let me know in the comments or live chat. Yes, it is going on. It's going out on my end. Martin, Sandeepan, Philippe, are you guys not there? Can you hear me? It's reconnecting. All right, so it's working. Yes, so in that case, let's now proceed with our last chart. As I was saying, I have zero interest in looking for bullish setups on BTC. Sandeepan saying you can hear me. Thank you, Sandeepan. And thank you, Martin. It looks like there's a lot of delay with what I say and the time you hear the stream. But anyways, that's I think how YouTube works. So coming back to the chart, what we have is exceptionally bearish setup, zero confirmation. When will there be a confirmation? Let's now look at the live chart here. There is one point which I wanted to show here. We were able to identify this correction in the live discussion. As you can see here, we were pointing out in our last webinar that around 64,612, when the price was trading around 64,612, we were expecting small correction and then upward movement on this counter, right? And this actually played out in live market. So we did have one setup on Bitcoin which did play out. Here is it. It is. So this is our discussion on 19th, somewhere here. And again, pointing out to the analysis. We were expecting correction and then upward movement 64,612, right? And here it is 64,612 somewhere here. That's the point where we were at. And there it is the correction and then above. So yes, it is an analysis we discussed last time and it played out perfectly. I do not specifically analyze BTC in extreme depth, but yeah, last time we did see a setup right there, and it performed. So it's kind of there in the middle, or what do you call, in front of you. Now, again, emphasizing on our both scenarios, we still have what you call a boxed range. This could still be just ABC correction, and it could still go up. But as I said so many times, no interest in longs unless it takes out this 73,150, whatever it is at your chart. To just check the data feed name, right? And as far as the bearish count is concerned, I am seeing some sort of weakness that is also unconfirmed unless we see a break below 60,300. We do not have a confirmation for this count as well. Let's just call it. It could also be counted as an EBC down, in which case this leg will be having a limited downside potential. But yes, this count is still alive. The bearish potential cannot be relegated. Triggers below 60,300, specifically below this low, whatever that is. But for now, we wait and watch with the bearish count in mind, and no trades, no further trades on it. So that was it for our analysis, guys. Thank you, Louis, Philippe, Martin, and Sandeepan, Jay, and whoever other people who are watching it later on as a recording. Do not forget to do your part, share the content so that we can reach much more audience. And yes, lastly, as I said, planning to launch Instagram page. So if you are there, you will receive the link in the emailing list, which I send out emails every weekend. And where's that link? Yeah, here is it. If you are not in the emailing list, you can subscribe 50hours.com/, subscribe dash emailing list. Just put on your name and email address, and you'll get the thing. The email, right? That's about it, guys, and thank you for staying till the end. You're welcome, Sandeepan, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Bye.